Hello and welcome back to the LFC Ahmedabad podcast with me, Vatsal, Anmol, and Roshan. Two Indians and one Indian from the UK, so another mixed bag. And most probably, I would term this as the dream team of the podcast. देखते हैं others क्या बोलते हैं उसके बारे में, but for me, this is the dream team. Controversial pick. We are here to discuss Liverpool's. Um, how shall I put it? 30 minutes of fame. We were close. We eventually finished second in the group. We'll start with Anmol. Anmol, what were your feelings when City were 2-0 down? Coutinho had scored. It was like stars were matching, stars were aligning, but it didn't happen, did it?
I think even when City were 2-0 up, we were still drawing, like we were still 1-1.
Yes.
So, but I eventually back of the mind, I thought that like Salah came on, and so like I thought like we will score, but obviously like by the time we scored, it was 3-2.
Yes.
So I think obviously there was hope when Coutinho scored and Villa were 2-0 up, but somewhere like it was expected that City will come back. At their past and obviously their attack. So
if when I think first goal was scored by Watkins or
no, Cash.
Matty Cash. Sorry, Matty Cash scored. The Anfield erupted. Coutinho scored. Anfield erupted even more. So we knew. I think even the players would have understood that. Okay, City are losing. So Roshan, what do you think? अगर ये situation एतिहाद पे होता, they are 2-0 down. We are at 1-1. We score. I'm sure something would have happened at the Etihad and कुछ प्रेशर शायद सिटी प्लेयर्स पे बन जाता अगर उनके 3 गोल मारने से पहले हमने कुछ किया होता तो. इफ डू यू बिलीव इन दैट थियरी?
हाँ, एब्सोल्युटली. मतलब सभी अब तो ऐसा भी नहीं है कि रेडियो पे सुन रहे हो और तुम कुछ ऐसा नहीं है. इट इज डायरेक्टली ऑन योर एप्स. तो मतलब गोल पड़ते ही पता तो चल ही जाता है. एंड आई एम प्रीटी श्योर जेम्स पियर्स माइट हैव गॉटन मोर followers that day, mostly City fans, to see the score live. But हाँ, वो था कि हम मतलब it was a typical Liverpool game. पहले खाओ फिर बाद में score करो. But हाँ, if we had scored in the first half, if we went in the first half 2-1 ahead, then psychologically it would have been very difficult for Manchester City because then they are under pressure to score more than us.
Because this similar situation happened in like that Aguero moment, like United were winning 1-0, and we all remember how tense Etihad Stadium was back then, and I think it would have been even more tense because they were in the driving seat in this title race for majority of the season.
But to be honest though, Aston Villa ने किया वो बहुत बड़ी बात है because I wasn't expecting them to like get 2-0 ahead at Etihad.
Yes,
and they did have a lot of chances. So I was watching both the games.
Watkins had some chances.
Had a couple of chances.
Till the game be 3-0, 4-0 हो जाता तो हो जाता.
See, I would like to say this on at just the beginning of the podcast कि like people are blaming Gerrard and वो Gerrard के वापस memes आ रहे हैं कि he slipped once again. Like I don't buy into all these things because eventually, even though he's Gerrard, we have to remember he's the manager of Aston Villa of all teams, and
his priority is winning the game for like his team.
See,
exactly.
The thing is कि Liverpool already 2 trophies जीत चुका है, so तुम्हें कहीं तो scapegoat करना ही पड़ेगा. तुम लिवरपूल के प्लेयर्स को उंगली उठा के बोल नहीं सकता है, कोई क्लब को उंगली उठा के बोल नहीं सकता है. तुम किसको बोलोगे? तुम नेक्स्ट टारगेट इज स्टीवन जेरार्ड. एंड
तो इसमें बताओ क्या है कि you know why we are so sad is because हमको वो hope मिला that they were 2-0 down and then they lost the game 3-2 and we lost the title.
See the difference between the difference between Sunday and 2 years back when 2 or 3 years back when that Glenn Murray goal was scored. Difference was वो Glenn Murray ने score किया, उससे पहले we were leading. So when Glenn Murray scored, we were technically winning the Premier League, but inside the like first 30 minutes they had already scored 3 goals. So वो 30 minutes में अपना hope खत्म हो गया था. This hope lasted until like 75th minute. Like we were just 15 minutes away. If we had scored, we would have won the title.
So context हटा दे game का, it's a regular Premier League game week.
हाँ.
Yeah, obviously.
In the end, yes.
तो I mean, देख एक चीज मैं बोलता हूँ, I think we should be proud that हम लोग 14 points नीचे होके हमने इतने points recover किए, because देख if assumptions की बात ही है तो then let's say if we won all our games and City won all their games, we would have finished the Premier League 14 points behind them.
Exactly.
तो what ifs की तो बात ही नहीं है. I mean, हाँ, there like 10% of the chance था कि वो हम लोग कर सकते थे, but statistically it was very very difficult for us to overcome this. मुश्किल ही था यार. I mean, realistically I don't like अपन as fans, as irrational fans, it hurts, but when you bring in all this rationality, then it's like, yeah, we are expecting Manchester City to lose against Aston Villa. Possible nahi hai, right? I mean, City is a great team. They're supposed to win these kind of games, and to be honest, it shows like City is vulnerable more than us. नहीं, वो लोग गिरते पड़ते मरते जीते हैं. मतलब हम लोग किसी चीज के हार्ट अटैक के अंदर नहीं थे. We went in the game. अगर वो लोग जीत जाते तो great, अगर नहीं जीते तो ठीक है. We tried.
मतलब talking about your earlier point only, like if we would have scored pehle, because this scoreline, the 2-0 scoreline which Villa did, like Villa scored 2 goals, that was even when we were losing. So if we would have scored earlier and if we would have gone 2-1 up, obviously it would have been a major psychological blow to them.
Yes,
it would have collapsed even more.
This is the point I wanted to make, because even though City were 2-0 down, we were never in a title winning situation. हम कभी भी mathematically first नहीं गए पूरे 90 minutes. That was like one saving grace for Man City की. Even like back of the mind they must be knowing कि चलो हम तो हार रहे हैं, पर वहाँ लिवरपूल भी कुछ नहीं कर रहा है. Maybe वो थोड़ा हाँ.
बस मतलब वही था कि ऐसे तो तुम वेस्ट हैम को भी बोल सकते हो कि वेस्ट हैम ने भी 2 गोल का लीड जाने
अरे
दिया.
यार मत याद
2 गोल के लीड छोड़ उन्होंने उनके पास और भी चांसेस थे कन्वर्ट करने के लिए. एंटोनियो ने भंगी जैसा चिप मारा था. तो मतलब you can, it's all ifs and buts, but to be honest,
there's the Rodri handball.
Oh god.
And all those things.
देखो मैं एक चीज बोलता हूँ, I feel like refereeing decisions include नहीं करना चाहिए, because on a given day it is on us. हमें भी कुछ favorable decisions मिलते हैं, हमें भी कुछ बेकार decisions मिलते हैं. But just in terms of footballing aspect, कि last 2 games ऐसे गए वो ही बहुत बड़ी बात.
See,
City was supposed to win it post the last 6 games because their run was much easier than ours.
We had to face Tottenham. See, if this is like the second time Liverpool have finished a point behind City, and if you remember, in both of the seasons we have had fewer defeats than them. Like उस season हमारी एक ही defeat थी, उन लोगों की 2 थी. इस बार हमारी 2 थी तो उनकी 3 थी.
But so the number of games they drew were 6 and ours were
6. We hardly lose games, but we draw a lot more than we are comfortable with. That is our only
this year we haven't won against the top 4. Like we've only drawn against like home and away. If you see City home away draw, Chelsea home away draw, and Spurs home away draw. So that's
6.
I think एक और चीज ये है कि well, City and Chelsea are much better teams as compared to Spurs, but I think Spurs और छोटे वाले teams के साथ, like I guess this has been the trend like 4-5 years, even when we lost in 2018-19 वाले season में, the number of draws mostly against अभी इस साल तो bigger clubs, but just talking about draws, I just feel like हम लोग बहुत stagnant हो जाते. We run out of ideas when people tend to sit a little bit and they are not attacking. And we haven't figured that. हमने उन teams को break down करना अभी तक figure out नहीं किया.
And another similarity between that season and this season is उस time भी West Ham और Leicester के सामने points drop किए थे. इस बार भी West Ham और Leicester के सामने points drop करते हैं हम. I don't know.
Klopp might be going in all these big games with the mindset कि चलो अगर if we are not getting the points, let's not give them.
Makes sense. That is a good point.
Maybe Klopp might be going into these games with that mindset. Obviously, City के सामने तो obviously he would be happy with getting a point.
I remember we did the double against United because 5-0 or 4-0 था. Did we beat Arsenal twice as well?
Yeah, Arsenal also twice. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yes. Because I remember
I think next season का focus ये भी होना चाहिए कि हमने इतने सारे strategies develop करके we have made ourselves more prone to like scoring. You know, हमने इतने chances create किए हैं. we have analyzed these situations and come out of them saying कि ठीक है हमें ये करना है to get out of it. I think one thing definitely Liverpool needs to work on is against the teams or against even with bigger teams sit down for a certain amount of time, वो momentum break हो जाता है. So I think if we focus on those things, then I think we can reduce the number of games that we draw.
Yes.
But again, मतलब हम लोग का expectations भी तो change हो गए ना, from just scraping through to top 4 and top 6. यूरोपा भी मिल जाए तो भी चलेगा, तो हम लोग 4 ट्रॉफी क्यों नहीं जीत रहे हैं?
हाँ.
We have to consider that also. You cannot win everything under the sun.
But then we are also a bit unlucky because we live in an era where Man City are close to perfect. Like I read somewhere Sir Alex Ferguson had only won 90 plus season, and still he has won 13 Premier League titles. We have had 3 consecutive, like ठीक है चल 3 नहीं, out of last 4 we have had 3 90 plus season and we have just won.
अच्छा, उसका बेसिकली मैं ऐसा एनालॉजी देता हूँ कि पहले है ना 12 स्टैंडर्ड तक की डिग्री होती थी तो काफी था, फिर बैचलर्स, फिर मास्टर्स. अभी मास्टर्स के नीचे का किसी चीज का वैल्यू नहीं है. तो
आज से 20 साल बाद शायद पीएचडी भी कंपलसरी हो जाएगा.
तो वे हाँ राइट. So the way football has evolved is your 80s have become 90s.
Exactly, yeah.
So in that sense, that comparison, I don't think. But if you see most of the Fergie seasons, one team is tear away completely. Like post January, you know that this team is going to win.
And I think this time it was only mainly United, Arsenal, and Chelsea competing for.
Even Chelsea was in the latter stages. It was just United, Arsenal. Yeah.
Like earlier, it was only mainly Arsenal and United.
United, yeah.
It's like if you see completely dominated by one team, at least post January, even post February, March, when the League Cups are there. So some teams, like because of injuries, they don't get to score much, and then they lose games, and then some team definitely that momentum.
I think this is one part where I'm very proud of this team is in earlier season we always used to drop off after Christmas because we never used to take FA Cup or Carabao Cup seriously, and we always used to have dicey form in the league in January, February. But this time it is January, February, March where we really picked up. We won the Carabao Cup, we entered the latter stages of the FA Cup, and we went neck and neck with City all the time because it's like something has changed and something is really getting better in our squad. But I want to ask this question to both of you. I'll start with you, Anmol. What is one thing we have to change for next season so that we can get that 2 points extra or 1 point extra?
I think we need to, I've seen in most of our games, we have been playing a lot of high line. And that is where we, in some of the matches, obviously, they beat us in the counter attack. And we failed to get that offside trap, and they eventually get 1-on-1. Because Alisson has been so good, we have been able to,
survive some.
Yeah. So I think change a bit tactically in all those games, and not always play the high line and give the opponent the chance to attack on the counter. So I think tactically make a few changes, and obviously we have Fabio Carvalho coming in.
Yes.
So maybe another creative midfielder.
Possibly,
so, let's see. Because I think defense wise, we have backups for all 4 positions. Like we have 2 good centre backs.
Maybe a right back.
Maybe a right back. Yes.
Right back, yeah. But like we have Milner cover up. We have Gomez also playing.
Yeah, I don't mind Joe Gomez if he plays like once in 2 games or something.
The reason I say this is because like if we have someone like Tsimikas on right back,
on the other side,
where they fit the player that they replace. Like Robertson, Tsimikas, दोनों इतने similar players हैं, ऐसा लगता ही नहीं है कि 2 अलग players हैं. Like if you're watching the game, squad नहीं देखा तो तुमने लगेगा कि normal game चले, पता चलेगा Tsimikas खेल.
वरना जो गोमेज का पता चल जाता है कि ये जो गोमेज खेल रहा है.
But Joe Gomez के लिए भी difficult है ना. Once you're playing center back, then right back is right wing.
Yes.
तो तुम्हें आगे पीछे करना है. While
Like
whereas center back, you have the time to like analyze.
this point just came in my mind that Ibrahima Konate is everything what we expected Joe Gomez to become.
But yeah, the injuries did
unfortunately.
not help him, to be honest.
Yeah. I think, but we have been, in talks with this Aberdeen.
Calvin Ramsey. Calvin Ramsey.
I think the other, if you see, before Joe Gomez got injured, Van Dijk and Joe Gomez were killing it for 2019, 2020
yes,
season. From Jeete was starting
1-0, 2-0, 1-0, 2-0, like
they were just killing it. So unlucky hai Joe Gomez ke liye bhi,
But
but ye ki an injury prone player cannot be a substitute for such a high intensity position.
Yes, exactly.
And
and going back to the point Anmol made about Highline is that it is a boon and a curse at the same time. Like when we catch someone offside, catch some striker offside, it like we credit our Highline, but it usually doesn't always happen. It's like black and white.
But it worked very well in the first part of the season.
Yes.
In the second part of the season, like you could see
you
that
get figured out thoda sa.
Yeah. So because we used to play like that in every match, so opponents easily used figure out our play and make their tactics accordingly.
The other reason that Highline works is because you have VAR. Agar flag referee nahi deta hai, so it will go for a secondary check also. So you are not, you for certain, एक certainty है कि तुम्हारा Highline check होगा ही होगा for a goal. So that way you don't have to worry about your referee flag उठाएगा कि नहीं उठाएगा. So in modern day football it kind of works, but वही है कि it's very difficult. Everybody has to be on the same page. कोई भी हल्का सा भी पीछे हुआ, you're playing somebody onside.
Yeah,
we have done it fairly well, but again,
last week, Wolves ke samne hi, the first goal, our defense line was at the half line, and Hippers was almost like in the same line as the defense.
Usually when Van Dijk is there, he does that pretty well. Sometimes when it's Matip Konate or Matip Gomez, sometimes it becomes a little off. But I think when, like Roshan said, for Highline, the back four has to be in sync. One can't be a little bit forward trying to attack and come back to defend. He has to be like proper.
Because Konate and Matip haven't played together a lot. Van Dijk has played both of them. I think
the problem with that also is then you have to have consistently same backline.
Exactly.
Games to be able to execute.
And that is not possible under Jurgen Klopp's system.
Tum rotation
to rotate, yes.
So I think, I mean, to be honest though, you've played basically all the games in all the competitions. That is a testament to our side that matlab, intensity may have dropped off a little bit, but we still can do it. That is the most important thing.
But like speaking, like just to like you just said we are playing all matches available to us this season. We'll talk a little about the Champions League. We are going to have a altogether separate episode for the same. But injuries, Thiago, Fabinho, what do you guys think?
Fabinho will be fit because he got this weekend off. So I mean, I don't think his is as bad as Thiago.
Like I'm worried about Thiago because like he was that another dimension that we could have used in against Real Madrid, against that aging midfield of theirs.
Aging midfield, the problem is that however aged they are
world class.
Yeah, Modric and Kroos can send any pass through, and with someone like a Valverde and Casemiro, they have the capability of blocking any attack. So I think I'm a little worried about Trent because Vinicius will be on his wing, so we have to be. देखो भाई, Vinicius को stop किया, इसका मतलब most of the balls going into our final third हमने stop कर दिया. Yes. बहुत important है कि I think this match we should first come out with a plan कि पहले Real Madrid को break down करना है, उनको उनका intensity pick करने नहीं देना. So first half we have to come out pretty hard. Press करना है तो press करो, या अगर तुम्हें Vinicius को man mark करना है तो करो. in that way, I think Henderson will be really good, where he can on the right and support Trent as much as he can.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
I think it is Nabi's time to shine. He needs to show that he is a big game player.
Yeah, Nabi's 100% playing because
Nabi will start.
But I think Diaz should not start, because I just feel like Diaz starting a match, he does not have that much of an impact
yes.
when he comes after 60 minutes.
Diaz's impact comes when half tank is
I'm more
over.
than happy that Jota starts, and then we can change our attacking options, and then we have Diaz has to do so much in the first 45 minutes, then he does not have that much intensity in the second 45. So I think वो change होगा. Training, he'll get used to the training, then he'll become a proper 90-minute player. But until then, I think he needs to be a substituted player, and Champions League में 5 substitutes कर ही सकते हैं, तो why not keep him on the bench.
Anmol, you were saying something?
Yeah, so I have one question. Would you guys play a 60% fit Thiago in the finals?
यार वो 60% fit
नहीं, the problem is वो 60% fit Thiago क्या करेगा, पहले 3 मिनट में बॉल लूज करके एक ऐसा टैकल मारेगा रैश और वो येलो कार्ड खाएगा, and that is extra pressure that Liverpool needs. Again, if it's a 60% fit Thiago, I don't mind him coming in like post 60 minutes just in case nil है, अभी भी कुछ हो नहीं रहा है, both teams are not able to break each other down. And again, it could be tactical also. Let's say they bring in Rodrigo, agar wo leke aate in the later stage, and apparently Hazard is fit for the game, so he might start.
But are you expecting a Brexit midfield all over?
No way Milner is starting this game. As much as I love James Milner, I'll probably buy his shirt. But
I think Milner will definitely come if this game is going to extra time. But
yes, definitely.
The first 90 minutes, I don't think he will.
Bas Bhagwan penalty shootout mat dena is
on how Fabinho and Thiago cope with their injuries. But I think if both of them are out, I think Milner will start.
Yeah, then it's certain that Henderson, Milner, and Naby Keita will start, because I don't see Klopp risking, let's say, an Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones, or Harvey Elliott in a final.
So दो चीजें I think we have to make sure कि first of all हमारे mentality क्या है? Are we going to execute what Liverpool does, or are we going to play with Real Madrid in mind? कि हम लोग उनका game disrupt करेंगे कि नहीं? I think that is important for us. क्योंकि अगर हम हमारे तरीके से खेलेंगे highline तो Vinicius and Benzema will kill us.
Yes, definitely.
So there has to be a different approach to this game, and hopefully Klopp is not super rigid about his tactics for the game. Hopefully all the video analysis comes around, and then basically you isolate 2 players, Vinicius and Benzema, you have most of the game with you. And Madrid का 6 minutes of madness का एक philosophy है, it has been going around. We just have to avoid that 6 minutes.
So we discussed the midfield. We discussed a little bit of attack with Diaz, Jota situation. One last question regarding the same. I know we have talked on length about the Champions League, but this is the final question. Konate or Matip?
Matip.
I think
Matip.
It's a big game. Konate. I mean, if Matip is fit enough,
then but Matip has that aerial.
Yes.
For Benzema, it could also be that Konate knows Benzema a bit more. Just being
French.
No, not necessarily. He has been around the French setup, so at least while practicing and playing with him.
And Konate has a little bit of more pace, which might be handy as well.
That is the only disadvantage with Matip, because he'll be on the Vinicius side, so
that is the thing.
So that is the only disadvantage Matip has.
I think considering the pace, I think Konate might start, because if Vinicius ko pace hai, to Matip might come in later, is what I'm thinking. I think Konate might start also just because he has started almost all the Champions League games. So it's a Kelleher kind of a thing where
exactly.
Matches start ke to tu hi karega. And it is also a good thing that
Klopp
manager is showing confidence in him that this is the biggest game. I'm still I'll let you play because I trust you that you can handle this team.
Because even I think in the final FA Cup finals only, when Van Dijk came off, Matip and Konate were only together in the last second half.
And they did quite well, to be honest.
Matip was solid that time, like in the last 30 minutes.
So, like coming back to the Premier League, I just have one final question. Rate the season out of 10.
9.5 out of 10.
I would say 9.
Yeah, I'll probably go with an 8.5, 9, something like 8.275 maybe.
We have dropped points, against Leicester, which we could have, because
Brighton,
Leicester's season, and we dropped points against them. So I think we could have avoided that. So
even the 2-2 draw against Brighton was
So
like it hurt me more because we won 5-0 against United, we won 5-0 against Watford, and the next 2 games we lose to West Ham and we draw to Brighton. Like that wasn't the ideal situation over there. So I think on an average we are giving the season a 9 because you said 9.5, I said 8.5, and you said 9. So I think that's the median. I think we'll return tomorrow for the in-depth analysis or an in-depth preview of the Champions League final. We'll talk a lot more about the team, injuries, and we'll recap what is different between now and the 2018 final, which we lost 3-1. We'll definitely talk about Salah's revenge part as well and all his tweets. Definitely. So I think any last thing, or should we wrap it up?
I think
people just should
all Champions League now.
This slippage stuff should just
should stop. Yes,
it is a disrespect to a Klopp as a manager and then Steven Gerrard as a manager. He has no stake in what Liverpool does and what situation they are. He's Aston Villa's
manager. In this position because of us. So obviously
we lost because we did not win our game.
Yes, he almost did his part.
He could have become the fairy tale story, but if he didn't, then it's not CPG. It's just ridiculous.
It was like
it was almost Coutinho scoring.
Exactly. It was almost written. Yes, it was almost written. But I don't want to think much about it. But imagine.
I'm happy. But next day morning, I was happy to see the attendance at the parade. So everything is back to normal. Sky is blue, water is wet.
On that note, we'll wrap things up. We'll see you guys tomorrow at same time, same place. Till then, YouTube cliches of liking, sharing, and subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
See you guys.